The Monsterverse is full of giant kaiju that dwarf any other real-life creature by magnitudes and size. They are called titans, and these titans are based on both old kaiju designs and also quite a few original ones. There are the underwater titans as we have discussed in a previous video, and also terrestrial ones that we have yet to showcase. But in this video we will be introducing to you the 7 flying titans of the Monsterverse taken from the movies, the comics and the novelizations. These titans are the rulers of the sky, and on occasion they have proved themselves worthy adversaries for both the terrestrial titans and the other flying ones as well. So here's the list. The first one is QUETZALCOATL. Also dubbed as TITANUS QUETZALCOATL, this is a giant daikaiju created by Legendary Pictures that appears in the 2019 film Godzilla King of the Monsters as a name briefly seen on a monitor. In mythology, Quetzalcoatl was a feathered serpent deity in the cultures of pre-Columbia. It is not an original concept of the Monsterverse, as there have been the group of giant bird kaiju of the same name created by TriStar Pictures. In the series, the adult Quetzalcoatl could emit a deadly stream of fire and balls of flame from her mouth and was covered with a special type of skin made of silicon that allowed her to be unaffected by the hottest of temperatures. But in the Monsterverse, we have yet to find out whether this titan possesses similar powers or if it is a completely different kaiju altogether. The second one is GHIDORAH. This titan is the most well-known and the arch-rival of Godzilla. The three-headed dragon kaiju is not from Earth and arrived on this planet millions of years ago. Like most of his past incarnations, GHIDORAH is larger than Godzilla. His middle neck has 2 rows of spine while his left and right necks have only 1. Each head has a crown of 10 horns, and regarding his wings, they are just enormous, easily 1,000 feet across in wingspan, and can create hurricane-like winds and fly at supersonic speed. His heads have crocodilian-looking jaws with flaring nostrils, a forked tongue, and brows with a generally florid appearance, and can shoot gravity beams. He is also the biggest titan at 521 feet tall and over 140,000 tons. And with a giant wingspan, he makes Godzilla look like a cute little lizard. Number 3. The SHINOMURA. This next flying titan is an original design called SHINOMURA and was a very ancient titan dating back to the Cambrian period almost 250 million years ago, where it was confirmed that it was a rival of the Godzilla species even in the ancient times. While it could technically take on 2 different forms, the main form of a SHINOMURA was massive winged insect-like monsters with blue scales and black membranous wings. They had a total of 6 eyes, with there being 3 on each side of the head. Their bodies were long and serpentine, ending in sharp scorpion-like tails. SHINOMURA's gigantic supercolony cells are black and blue and resemble starfish. SHINOMURA is a conglomerate of millions of smaller creatures merged together to create one single entity, much like Destroyer. It was finally killed in 1954 by Godzilla and the US military. The fourth one, RODAN. Coming up next is the flying pterosaur titan, the fire demon called RODAN, which first appeared as the title character in Ishiro Honda's 1956 film RODAN, produced and distributed by Toho. Just a bit of trivia, RODAN's original name was Radon and is based on the name Pteranodon. This incarnation of RODAN has a larger wingspan compared to any of his previous incarnations. His physique overall bears strong resemblance to a bird of prey. His head possesses a large, heavy-like beak lined with tooth-like spikes and a pair of horn spurs curled down from the back of his skull. He is 154 feet tall, weighs more than 39,000 tons, and has a wingspan of 871 feet across, and also can fly at supersonic speeds. RODAN has internal volcanic combustion, causing him to radiate heat, the temperature of which can reach up to 1,200 degrees Celsius. At number 5 comes Mothra. Up next is the queen of the monsters, and after her are 2 remaining titans, one which you have already seen in the movie, and another one which only appears in the comics. Well, Mothra's design in the Monsterverse tells us that she is more than just another cute moth. Also dubbed as Titanus MOSURA, she shares a mutual symbiotic relationship with Godzilla and she fights for her man, no doubt about that. As a larva, she bears very similar resemblance to her older incarnations, but the adult version is totally different. A hair-lined body, feathery antenna, and 4 large wings which sweep up like a butterfly, and they are also bright and bioluminescent. She is 52 feet tall, but it's just her posture. Her wingspan, however, is 803 feet wide, and she has a stinger as a melee weapon, and also can shoot Super Silk as her ranged attack. Her legs possess pointed tips, which she utilizes as blade-like weapons for combat against other titans. The 6th flying titan is the MUTO male. As said before, this one is the first massive unidentified terrestrial organism, or in short, the MUTO male. This titan is the male form of the Jinshin Mushi superspecies, which also includes the female MUTO, the Queen MUTO, and the MUTO Prime. None of them are exactly the same, but each one of them is very similar to each other. Despite this, the male MUTO is the only one which has the ability of flight. It can fly long distances and at very fast speed. He has a height of 200 feet and a very large wingspan. The MUTO's bodies are covered in an iridescent metallic greyish-black exoskeleton. They have orangey red eyes, narrowly shaped eyes, and their body can emit EMP, which is electromagnetic pulse, that blacks out all electronics in a specified range. It has long, slender hind limbs with flat, broad feet ending in 2 hoof-like toes and sickle-shaped forelimbs for attack. And the last one, the 7th, CAMAZOTZ. The last flying titan of the Monsterverse is Titanus CAMAZOTZ, and this titan will appear in an upcoming comic book in which he will fight Kong before the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. The name CAMAZOTZ, literally meaning Death's Bat, was a Mayan bat god associated with night, death, and sacrifice. This name was likely chosen due to CAMAZOTZ's strong resemblance to a bat and due to his god-like status as a titan capable of challenging Kong. CAMAZOTZ is a massive creature with demonic horns as well as large bat-like wings covered in long, sharp spikes. He also has what appears to be black-colored fur covering the entirety of his body. His jaws are filled with dozens of jagged dagger-like teeth, and as seen in the end credits of King of the Monsters, an image of a bat using echolocation would have probably been him. And that's all about the 7 flying titans of the Monsterverse, and so be sure to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more monster videos.